All right, Shalom, Mike. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakah Kodash. I'd like to give double honors to the Apostle of this great millstone, Lady C. Shalom, to the elect, that teaches word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. And yeah, today I just pretty much want to get into a lesson about, you got to have a sense of urgency, pretty much, especially when you first come into this truth. And you still got to keep that sense of urgency when you in the truth, man. Because we know at any time, any day, all hell can break loose. Which that's the overtone of the ministry is a warning. Matter of fact, let's start off with this. 1 Corinthians 14 and 7. It said, "In things without life-giving sound, whether piped or harp, except they give a distinction in the sounds, how shall it be known what is piped or harp?" See? And what's the it's pretty much set up, like a trumpet. If you a watchman, you got the sound, the distinct sound for the new moon. The new moon feast. You got a distinct sound for when the Sabbath come in or a holy day. And you also got a distinct sound of when the sword is coming, man. So it said they get a distinction in the sound. How shall it be known what is piped to heart? And that's what you see with these other camps. They don't have a distinct sound. They just let you know that you're Israelites. And how to pretty much be an Israelite in America, man. It says, if the trumpet give an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? See? So it said an uncertain sound, who shall prepare himself to the battle? Meaning what? That's pretty much what you're supposed to be blowing. Blowing a trumpet of war, of getting ready for the hell that's about to come, man. That's pretty much the overtone of ministry as a warning, man. That was the prophets always pretty much their the legacy was to prophesy evils to come, man. So in that case, that lets you know when you hear the message, you got to have a certain sense of urgency when you hear this message. When you hear about mass death, you can't just hear that message and then just casually go about your day. Now it should be in your mind. This is it's like Ezekiel 33:2. It says, "Son of man, speak to the children of thy people and say unto them, when I bring the sword upon the land," see? And this what we doing. We warning you from Yahweh Shema Shot and the wrath that he's bringing, man. By the way of the sword and these said parables written in the scriptures, man. We say Yahweh Shema Shot is doing all this. It said, if the people of the land take a man of their coast and set him for their watchman, see? And this what you got these different counts set up for, man. But it takes the spirit of discernment for you to choose who you should set as for your watchman, man. It said, if when he seeth the sword come upon the land, he blow the trumpet and warn the people. See? And that's what we doing now, man. We got this message, and now, we was warned, and we feared, and guess what? Now we blowing the trumpet, and we spreading the news, man, and we warning the people, man, for the hell that's coming, man. It said, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and take them not warning. See, they didn't have no sense of urgency, man. They took the message lightly, man. You despise the word. You loathe the words of Yahweh Shema Shai. You made the words light, man. So it said, then whosoever heareth the sound of the trumpet and take him not warning, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. See, meaning what? You gonna die, man. Why? Because it wasn't no other way to escape that judgment Yahweh Shema Shai and bring it forth unless you hearken unto this word, man. Just like the time of Noah. It wasn't no other way that you can ride that flood out without being on that ark, man. You couldn't go to the highest tree or you climb to the highest mountain. All of that was covered with water, man. Meaning what? They couldn't escape that judgment that Yahweh Shema brought forth, which that was Noah was speaking about. Matter of fact, let's get that real quick. Because this should have been to a point, you should have said, man, Noah, man, this man is serious, man, when he was 80% done with the ark. Not even 50%. Because you know it was a huge ark. You should have said, this man got a sense of urgency. This man, he sees something that we don't see, man. You know, this is, Hebrews 11 and 7. It says, by faith, Noah being warned of the Most High, of things not seen as yet. Move with fear. See, he was motivated with fear. He had a sense of urgency, like, I don't want to be a part of that wrath the Lord is about to bring forth, man. So he was moved with fear, man. He had a sense of urgency when he came across that message, man. You know, it said, move with fear of things not, I'm going to read this again. It said, by faith, Noah being warned of the Most High of things not seen as yet. Move with fear, see? It was a sense of urgency, prepared an ark to the saving of his house, by the which he condemned the world and became heir of the righteousness which is by faith. So guess what? He had got the message, and guess what? He was warning the people. He was blowing the trumpet. You can hear them hammers going in the background. You hear them hammers in the back while he building the ark, and he telling you the flood is coming, man. You know, there's no way to escape that judgment. But guess what? The people didn't hearken. They didn't have that sense of urgency. They didn't hearken unto that trumpet. Let's go back to Ezekiel 33. Ezekiel 33 and verse 4 again says, then soever hear the sound of the trumpet and take them not warning. See, you heard the message and you didn't take warning. It says, if the sword come and take him away, his blood shall be upon his own head. Meaning, what, you gonna die because you didn't hearken unto the word. You didn't hearken unto the sound of the trumpet. You took it light, man. You know, it says he heard the sound of the trumpet and took not warning. His blood shall be upon him. See, you heard the trumpet. You heard the alarm going off. You heard that his mass death coming. You know, like no other, man. You heard that these strange things are going to come upon the planet Earth, and that America is going to be overthrown violently by the will of World War III, man. That there's going to be a famine, you know, in the land. Cannibalism, race war, civil war, all these things. You didn't hearken unto that. So guess what happened? Your blood's going to be upon you. That means you going to die. You going to die because you didn't hearken. It says, but he that take of warning shall deliver his soul, see? And it said, take of warning, meaning what? You had a sense of urgency when you first heard this message, man. That's what it's all about. Do you got that sense of urgency and believe that this, do you believe the report, man? But like we read in 1 Corinthians, the 14th chapter, it says, you pretty much got to blow the trumpet to make yourself ready for the battle. That's the overtone of the ministry, is to get you ready, get your mind ready for the thing to come, man. Which is nothing but death and destruction, man. You know? And back then, you know, they had some sense. They knew who the prophets were. You know, let's get this real quick. This is, but now they don't know who Samuel is. They don't know who Moses is. You know, Ezekiel, Isaiah, Daniel. They don't know who these prophets is, but guess what? They still got that same overtone as in the past. Death and destruction is coming. Lamentations, mourning, and woe. Which that's what the futures is filled with, man. That's why I said it was written therein, within and without. That was written therein. Lamentations, mourning, and woe. Once again, you know, speaking the destruction that's about to come, man. Which it was actually meant for this time. You know, so this 1 Samuel 16:4, it said, and Samuel did that which the Lord spake and came to Bethlehem, and the elders of the town trembled at his coming. See? And said, comest thou peaceably? So they trembled at the coming of Samuel. Why? Because Samuel is a known prophet, man. And what are prophets known for? Prophesying evils, man. You know? That's the legacy of the prophets, is to prophesy evils. But it was a sense of urgency when they seen Samuel. They was already spooked before Samuel even said something. They asked him first, you know, is you coming in peace? Before Samuel opened his mouth, they just wanted to know. Why? Because it was a sense of urgency when you seen the prophets. You know that it was bad news coming, man. You know? But now today, they don't see that they don't know who Samuel is. They don't know who Jeremiah is. You know, that's why you see why the Lord gotta kill niggas, man. Cause we actually see them behind the scenes. See, they got right when they seen Moses, these other prophets. They try to get right. But now the Lord is saying, you plead for them. I'm going to show you how these niggas really act. And now you see why the Lord got to kill a lot of niggas, man. But the point is, back then, they had some sense. They had a sense of urgency when they seen the prophets, man. But now they don't, man. Now they don't. They just think that the Lord, Yahweh Hashem Shai, is not going to spring into action, man. Let's get this. And they say that, it's that Jake, they say that, and then they say it by the way of their actions. This is Ezekiel 12:27. It says, Son of man, behold, they of the house of Israel say the vision that he seeth is for many days to come. And he prophesied of the times that are far off. And that's what Jay say, man. They'll say it or they'll do it by their actions. You got a 10-year plan. Even Israelites, they got 10-year plans. You been in the community. You trying to say how you going to be a good Israelite father in America. Whatever the case may be. But they saying that through their actions. They don't think the Lord, Yahweh Shema Shai, is going to spring into action, man. They think things going to go back to normal. Or it tells you that the Lord's going to punish the men that are settled on their leaves. See, you're not preparing yourself for all hell break loose, for no running water, for no power. The power's going to be shut out, cut off, man. We're finna come into a hard winter, man. They're not preparing for that. They say that's 50 years down the line. That's 100 years down the line. It says, therefore say unto them, thus says the Lord power, there shall none of my words be prolonged anymore. But the word which I have spoken shall be done, saith the Lord. Meaning what? It's going to be, when we speak these words, it's going to happen in this same time, this same generation, man. And that's what we see now. That's why you got people wearing masks. It's going to be another lockdown. They postponing the elections, and, you got this civil war brewing. You got a famine brewing. All these is in the same time with the Lord. The words of the Lord speak, man. It wasn't like in the time when Jonah, he prophesied against Nineveh, and it didn't happen in this time, but it happened on down the line. No, it's going to be when we speaking in this time, just like Noah. Noah spoke it in his time, and them same people, after them 120 years, they remember Noah and that same measure that he was speaking, and it happened in that time, man. That's the same thing that's going to happen here. And they weren't prepared. Why? Because it wasn't a sense of urgency with them, man. So yeah, I might just hold it with edifying. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Kakodash. Double honors to the Apostle as a great millstone. Shalom to the elect that teach word in all truth, faith, and sincerity. DTA or Bible Ball.